Hey there, my friend. Do you know how life can sometimes feel really challenging? That life can feel overwhelming, like there's not enough time in the day to do what matters most to us. Maybe we find ourselves doing things like working at a job that we don't truly love just to try to make money, or maybe we find ourselves feeling lonely and depressed or unheard, misunderstood in our relationships. Maybe we find ourselves getting frustrated or angry with people or with ourselves. Maybe we feel like we don't manage our time well, or we're engaging in habits that don't support us, but we just don't ever seem to change. We all struggle in different ways on a daily basis. And I say this because I know, and I've spent many years of my life struggling with all sorts of things. And at one point in my life, I even considered taking my own life because that seemed like the easiest way to escape the suffering and the resistance that I was feeling in my life. I'm so glad I didn't do that, because I was led to a different approach to life. And it's an approach that I'm going to share with you in this video. And it's also an approach that has transformed my life from one of suffering, depression, anxiety, overwhelm, procrastination, into a life full of complete freedom, joy, productivity, purpose, and peace. And I'm living the life of my dreams now, and it's largely due to the practice and the tools that I'll be talking about in this video. So before I continue onto this massive topic of how to transform suffering into freedom and the life of our dreams, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Zach Van Kuren, and I'm a mindfulness instructor for the Nirvana community, where we integrate the power of sound with mindful awareness for a healthier mind, body, and world. I appreciate you showing up and watching this video, and I hope that it's worth your while. And my intention is that it is well worth your while. So, suffering is so prevalent in our lives. We've been suffering our entire lives, essentially, since childhood. Feeling afraid to do certain things, feeling like we're not good enough, feeling like we don't have enough time in the day, or that we're a bad person, or that we need to improve on certain things. There's a whole lot of resistance and pain that we experience on a daily basis, and suffering is so prevalent we might feel like it's inevitable, like we can't escape suffering, like there's no way out of it, that it's just a natural part of life. And while I do think that it's a natural part of life that essentially everyone on earth experiences, I do think there's a way out of it. For thousands of years, a practice and school of thought known as mindfulness meditation has been explored to understand the nature of suffering and to understand the nature of happiness and of reality, and how we can understand our minds to make them work for us and not against us. If you're not familiar with mindfulness meditation, mindfulness is that non-judgmental awareness that's always present. So right now, just watching this video, I invite you to just notice that part of you that's always present, that's always aware of all of your experience. It's aware of the sensations of the body. It's aware of the sound of my voice and any other sound you're hearing. It's aware of everything you're seeing, smelling, tasting. It's aware of your thoughts. It's aware of your emotions. It's that complete open awareness of all of your experience that's always present, and that has no preference. It's non-judgmental, it's just open. So tuning into that state of awareness through the practice of mindfulness meditation can allow us to still our minds so that we experience the mental clarity necessary to understand what matters to us and what's the noise, what's the unimportant distractions in our lives that we can let go of. Now, I'll say more about mindfulness meditation in a little bit, but I'd also love to share another tool that we can use to help transform our suffering into freedom and understanding, and that's sound. Sound plays such a large role in our lives. You know how you can listen to a song that makes you feel happy immediately, and you listen to another song that makes you feel sad? Sound has such a large effect on our mind and also on our bodies. They've done research that examined the effect of sound on different cells in the human body, and certain frequencies of sounds actually affect different cells and different organ systems and hormonal systems in the body differently. Interestingly, they also did a study with insects and termites that were chewing on wood, and they played different music in the background. And they found that the termites chewed faster when listening to heavy metal music as opposed to listening to classical music. So this is just a funny example of how sounds can really affect biology. So how can we use that to our advantage? Well, certain frequencies of sounds have different effects on us. So if we want to bring more healing into the body and relax the body for health purposes, we might listen to a certain frequency of sound. But if we want to maybe focus on writing a creative project or a paper, we can listen to a different frequency of sound. Now, how are you supposed to know which frequencies are best for what? Well, there's a lot of research that's been done, and just by going on YouTube or finding a community that creates sounds and different frequencies for specific purposes might be beneficial to you. So, what's the relationship between sound and mindfulness? Mindfulness is that state of openness, as we talked about, that presence that's always non-judgmentally aware of our experience. And tuning into that can give us clarity on what matters to us. That's an amazing practice to return to. And it can give us a lot of clarity on what matters and what doesn't. And from that, we get clarity on our purpose and the action that we want to take to align with our goals. Sound can then support us by allowing us to focus if we need to focus, or rest and relax if we need to rest and relax. And for some people, they find that sound can even help them into the practice of mindfulness. So perhaps they listen to a guided mindfulness meditation that is also playing sounds through their headphones to help them relax even more and to gain even more clarity. So sound and mindfulness can really build off of each other in a synergy to support us in creating what we want and letting go of what we don't. Now, the reason I'm so excited to share this video is because working with the Nirvana community, I'm so inspired to see that they appreciate the intersection between sound and mindfulness. And at Nirvana, the community is blending the power of sound with the practice of mindfulness to support us in cultivating a healthy mind and body, which affects how we show up in the world. So I'm so grateful for Nirvana, for the work that they do and the services that they provide. And I invite you to continue to explore in your own life what matters most to you and what doesn't matter to you. What can you stop giving your energy and attention to if it's no longer serving you? And if the practice of mindfulness and integrating that with sound would support you in your dreams, I invite you to explore that. Okay, that's all for now, friend. I hope this video was valuable for you, and we'll talk soon. Much love and namaste.